The Tai Chi master movement began in the late Southern Song Dynasty, when foreign countries often invaded the Central Plains. A strange tribe named Di was spotted invading a city in the Middle Plains. Despite their fierce demeanor, the tribe was highly skilled at deploying military techniques. Rather than employing battering rams to smash the gates, they elected to hurl men into the city via catapult. When the flying soldiers opened the city gates, the remaining soldiers outside rushed in, creating havoc and massacring the opposing forces. The Song army, led by General Wei Lin Chuan, attempted to repel the enemy, but they were outnumbered, making it difficult to deal with the invasion. Fortunately, a man named Zhang Sanfeng assisted the city's soldiers in their fight against the tribe forces at this critical moment. Sanfeng, a student of the Wuji martial sect, was a great fighter who could easily defeat opposing troops. In this war, he was not alone. He was supported by his martial sect partner, Mai, who, despite her youth, was a reliable fighter. The conflict raged on, and with Sanfeng's assistance, the Song army was able to gradually but steadily turn the tide. At some point during the combat, a female warrior from the enemy camp challenged Lin Chuan to fight. Sanfeng decided to assist Lin Chuan after noticing him struggling to beat his opponent. Shortly after they began fighting, the female warrior abruptly retreated. She wasn't looking for victory over Sanfeng. She had a particular mission to take something from him. When she finally got it, she rushed straight to the tribal leader, Prince Di, and presented him the thing. It turned out to be the key capable of breaking the seal that bound the Demon Sect Lord. From the start, Prince Di initiated this attack to grab the key from Sanfeng, who was tasked with keeping it. After obtaining the object he sought, Prince Di ordered his entire army to flee. However, when they were leaving, two tribal warriors decided to capture Mai before fleeing the city. Fortunately, Sanfeng heard Mai's cry for aid. When he discovered she had been taken, he leaped on the horses and chased them through the forbidden forest. Shortly after approaching the forbidden forest, the horse they were riding abruptly stopped and pranced in fright, knocking both riders to the ground. It did not take long to figure out why the horses were terrified. A gigantic beast was stalking them from afar. They weren't sure what it was, but it was dangerous. The jungle was utterly still as they observed their surrounds, waiting for the thing to arrive. Suddenly, one of them was dragged to the ground by a massive caterpillar, which then attacked the surviving soldier. Fortunately, when the gigantic caterpillar snatched the soldier, Sanfeng arrived in time to save Mai. He attempted to combat the monster, but a woman named Yu emerged and calmed it. Yu stated that the woodland was her pet big caterpillar's territory, and Sanfeng should not have entered it without permission. However, because he was forced to enter there to save Mai, she agreed to let him go this time as long as they left right away. Meanwhile, inside the city walls, Wei Lin Chuan approached a municipal official to inquire about reinforcements. To his surprise, the official simply stated that the troops would never arrive. Lin Chuan attempted to explain the circumstances they were facing. Even if they could protect the city now, they would be unable to survive without assistance if the enemy continued to strike in the future. The official remained unmoved and was unhappy that Lin Chuan had disturbed his meal. Lin Chuan withdrew, realizing he couldn't persuade the official to change his decision, and allowed him to finish his lunch. Even yet, he couldn't help but be concerned about the kingdom's dismal situation. Later, Sanfeng encountered Lin Chuan and invited him to a drink. They were childhood buddies. Sanfeng was more interested in attending martial arts college, whilst Lin Chuan preferred to join the military. Lin Chuan considered enlisting Sanfeng into the army after witnessing his closest friend's fighting prowess, believing that his presence on the battlefield would aid in the kingdom's defense. Unfortunately, Sanfeng flatly refused the offer, claiming that he had no interest in staying on the battlefield all the time. Despite Lin Chuan's pleas, he continued to deny. Sanfeng paid a visit to an elderly guide who had been in prison for the past 12 years. The old man was none other than Kui Qing, the Wuji sect's worst nemesis, and the figure Strictest sought to release, the Demon Sect master. Sanfeng would frequently visit the prison and ask Tai Chi to teach him the Demon Sect's fighting tactics in exchange for wine. The Wuji sect barred students from learning and practicing Demon Sect moves, but Sanfeng didn't mind. Furthermore, the date of the sect leader's choosing ceremony was coming. He believed the new moves would be useful in winning the selection because no other candidate would think to employ them. Candidates for the Wuji sect's leadership position had to compete in an arena. Whoever won the selection would be the new sect leader. On the day of the selection, the second senior student emerged as the most qualified candidate to become the new leader, particularly after defeating the other contestants. Just as he was about to be sworn in, Zhang Bao, the first senior student, came at the last moment, causing the struggle to continue. Zhang Bao easily defeated his opponent, using a single demonic move he had learned. The sect elders disliked viewing his skill. They chastised him and warned him not to learn or employ Demon Sect skills ever again. However, Zhang Bao contended that anyone may learn any martial art, because there is no such thing as a noble or bad skill. The technique was irrelevant. What mattered was the user's heart and goal. The elders overlooked this concept, focusing solely on their philosophy. As a result, the event was cancelled since both parties insisted on their separate viewpoints. Zhang Bao preferred to unwind after everyone had left by joking with Sha Mai. But a second later, the smile on his face faded as he realized the key to the prison that the sect leader had given him was missing. He initially felt scared and panicked, but ultimately stopped thinking about it. Meanwhile, in the Demon Sect headquarters, Yu Tianxing's daughter, who had temporarily replaced her father as sect leader, was enraged when she discovered that sect members were secretly cooperating with the D tribe. The D tribe approached her personally, asking for her help in killing the Wuji sect, which had always safeguarded the city. If she assisted them, Prince D would give her the key to release her father. But Yu refused to be their ally. As soon as she stated her refusal, one of Prince's men struck her with a fatal blow. Her subordinates were aware that the poison would kill her in 3 days if not treated, but they refused to assist her because they had already pledged their allegiance to Prince D. Knowing she had little chance if she fought alone, she chose to flee. The next afternoon, Zhang Bao went about his normal routine of going about and sipping wine. After a long trek, he discovered Yu reclining against a bamboo tree. Her health worsened as the poison crept throughout her body. Fortunately, Zhang Bao, who was usually traveling with Wuji-style yin-yang pills capable of treating all types of toxins, handed her the medicine. After she swallowed the remedy, the poison gradually faded. Later that night, the D tribe and the Demon Sect joined forces to attack the Wuji Sect headquarters, freeing Tianxing. Worse, there was no one in the Wuji Sect who could stop them. As a result, the assailants liberated Tianxing without experiencing any substantial challenges. Zhang Bao was speaking with Yu, who had recovered. As the attack was taking place, Sha Mai told him what had happened at their base, and he rushed back. Unfortunately, he arrived too late. All of the pupils and elders had been killed, including the cult leader. Before dying, the leader presented Zhang Bao with a plaque commemorating the sect leader, stating that he and Sha Mai were the Wuji sect's final offspring. As a result, they must maintain virtue in order to survive and thrive. As the days passed, Zhang Bao recognized that the key he was holding had been stolen by a D tribe warrior during their fight. Even if he had known it now, it was too late. He couldn't go back in time and resurrect his friends and elders who had died as a result of his carelessness. All he could do now was follow the leader's final message: move on and do good in life. When night fell, Tianxing, who had been set free, met his daughter Yu and invited her to join him in the cult. But she did not instantly accept his invitation. Instead, she warned him of their people's treason in favor of the D tribe, whom she suspected of using her father's influence to dominate the country after defeating the Wuji sect. Tianxing wasn't concerned with any of this. He still nursed a resentment toward the kingdom, specifically the 8 martial arts sects, for attempting to eradicate the demon sects 12 years ago, because his martial teachings were unusual. Back then, his wife had to make the ultimate sacrifice to save Yu. Even yet, Tianxing returned to headquarters to warn his members who had betrayed the cult and nearly killed Yu. But he was interrupted by the arrival of a masked man from the D tribe, who demanded that he work with the tribe to eradicate the 8 sects. The masked guy maintained that Tianxing owed the tribe a favor and so had no right to refuse their request. Tianxing unexpectedly retaliated by flinging his sword at him. However, the masked man quickly grasped and bent the sword. Zhang Bao, on the other hand, had a hatred against the Demon Sect and decided to seek assistance from the chiefs of the 8 sects while attending a meeting. After welcoming them and explaining his objective, none of the 8 chiefs answered. Tianxing had slain them all before he came in front of Zhang Bao. Zhang Bao became enraged and assaulted the Demon Sect master, resulting in a battle. Fortunately, just as he was about to lose to Tianxing, Yu interrupted their fight and informed her father that Zhang Bao had saved her life. Tianxing couldn't help but let him go after learning this fact. But just as he and Yu were about to depart, the masked man reappeared and blocked the way, causing them to fight. Tianxing was defeated after only a few exchanges of attacks. Zhang Bao stepped in to fight the masked man after Qian-Xing was defeated. He was no match for the masked man, despite his ability to remove the mask. To his amazement, the person beneath the mask was his childhood friend, General Wei Lin Chuan. It was revealed that Lin Chuan snatched the key and flung it at the female fighter. Lin Chuan abandoned them because he was fed up with corrupt officials who no longer cared about the people's and soldiers' well-being and allowed intruders to infiltrate the empire's land. Lin Chuan was still eager to give Zhang Bao the opportunity to follow him. Together, they had the potential to rule the globe. Zhang Bao refused the offer. He reasoned that if he had previously rejected Lin Chuan, why should he suddenly welcome him, when he appeared to be a dangerous lunatic? Sha Mai was equally furious with Lin Chuan and planned to silence him by killing him. Unfortunately, he easily evaded her attacks, strangling and poisoning the poor girl. Zhang Bao saw this and tried to help her by repeatedly beating Lin Chuan, but it was in vain. Instead, Lin Chuan beat him. At this point, Qian-Xing recognized they couldn't defeat that monster, so he summoned a large caterpillar and instructed it to transport Yu, Zhang Bao, and Sha Mai away while he fought Lin Chuan with his last strength. He eventually died at Lin Chuan's hands. Nonetheless, the catastrophe persisted. Sha Mai succumbed to the poison soon after escaping, dying in Zhang Bao's arms. The next day, Zhang Bao attempted to calm himself by Sha Mai's tomb. However, the adversary refused to let him rest, and this time he confronted two of the Demon Sect's best soldiers. They attacked him relentlessly, and one of their attacks sent him flying into the river. Zhang Bao found tranquility in the water. He remembered the words of the sect leaders Yu, Qian-Xing, and Lin Chuan, which gave him inspiration for what to accomplish. Suddenly, two fish representing yin and yang circled him. This allowed him to awaken after mastering all Wuji techniques and dark Tai Chi. He defeated his attackers using his newfound power. The scenario then concludes with Prince Di applauding Lin Chuan's work. Their tactics and strength overpowered the 8 major sects that dominated the country. The next day, Prince Di would launch his assault on the Central Plains, and he wanted Lin Chuan to be one of the army's commanders. Lin Chuan did not want to be Prince Di's servant because he already had his own ideas. He then killed the tribe members and attacked the prince. Zhang Bao and Yu came moments later to bring the situation to a conclusion. Even so, Zhang Bao gave Lin Chuan the opportunity to repent. Lin Chuan rejected his appeals and refused to accept his crime. He was already hurt because the world had deceived him. Their issue had to be resolved through a duel. During the struggle, a gigantic caterpillar arrived to assist Yu. Lin Chuan got an idea after seeing the caterpillar. He recognized Zhang Bao's strength had improved significantly, and he needed something to help him grow stronger. The huge caterpillar had something he needed. Without hesitation, he rushed on top of the caterpillar and stabbed it with his own hands to extract its heart. He believed that consuming the heart would increase his power. In the end, Lin Chuan lost to Zhang Bao. In the afterlife, he may regret devouring the poor caterpillar's heart. At the end of the film, Zhang Bao and Yu decide to part ways. She would look for a place where she could continue to live peacefully, while Zhang Bao was seen strolling towards the hills. The movie concludes, the lesson of this film is that if you want to be powerful, eat the heart of a huge caterpillar. So don't. Seriously, that is disgusting.